Uh, so I'm going to talk about circumstances. How many of you know that your circumstances can cripple you? And that's exactly what the devil wants, is to cripple you. To get you caught up in your circumstances so that that's all you can think about, your circumstances. Is what's going on in my life? Well, there's a lot of people, a lot of spiritual leaders through the Bible that had terrible circumstances. Awful. I'm going to read out of Acts 28. I'm going to talk about speaking to the circumstances. If we speak it, then it comes to life, right? Is that not what the Bible tells us? Sorry, I'm taking a little longer than y'all are. I got a new Bible and the pages get stuck together. So here Paul is going to Rome. In Acts 28 says, now when they had escaped, they then found out that the island was called Malta. So he got shipwrecked on this island on his way to Rome. Verse 2, and the Barabbas people shewed us no little kindness, for they kindled a fire and received us, every one because of the present rain and because of the cold. I'm sorry, I'm not used to reading the King James. You got the New King James Version? Verse 3, but when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, a viper came out because of the heat and fastened on his hand. So it struck his hand. So when the natives saw the creature hanging from his hand, they said to one another, no doubt this man is a murderer, whom though he has escaped the sea, yet just does not allow to live. But he shook off the creature into the fire and suffered no harm. However, they were expecting that he would swell up or suddenly fall down, dead. But after they had looked for a long time and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds about him and said that he was a god. You see, when Paul got bit by this snake, all of us, if we would have got bit by a snake, would have said, oh Lord, I done been bit. I got to go to the hospital. I'm dead. Or what they said, what the Word says about Paul, he didn't do nothing but shake it off. He didn't say a word. He didn't think, oh Lord, what's going to happen now? He didn't let that circumstance right there, he didn't let that cripple him. I believe if he would have said, oh Lord, help me, and spoke life into that situation, it would have been a total different story. How often do we get in a situation that we speak it and we say, oh Lord, this is a terrible situation, this is just how it's going to have to be, this is how my life is, I'm going to have to deal with it. You're speaking life into that situation, so this is what your life's going to be. We don't need to speak that. We don't need to speak that into our lives. I was talking to somebody today, and a boy said, I got a 4-hour test coming up, and it's just going to be terrible. And I said, hold on a minute. I said, I'm studying in the Bible, and I said, don't speak that. Don't speak that in your life. Don't speak negativity in your life, because that's where we mess up all the time. Oh Lord, this is going to be terrible. And then what happens? It ends up terrible, don't it? Church, we got to start saying, well, this is going to be, I'm going to get blessed through this. And that's where it's got to be at. We got to say, oh, well, I'm getting a blessing out of this. I don't care where I'm at right now. I'm going to get a blessing out of this. This is going to end up good. This is going to end up something great. I could have let this gunshot, I could have let this cripple me. The world would tell me I was handicapped. But you can ask anybody that goes to the gym with me, I'm not handicapped. And I'm not going to speak that on my life, because I'm not. I might have one hand, but I don't need it. I don't need that other. And most people nowadays is going to say, oh, poor me. I'm handicapped. And we start speaking that in our lives. And when we start speaking that negativity in our lives, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And we keep digging that hole deeper and deeper and deeper. We got to stay out of that hole. We need to speak positively to our lives. That's where it's that we speak positive to our life. Anything negative is of the devil. Do we get that? Is that right? Anything negative is of the devil. So if we're speaking negativity into our life, then we're speaking the devil into our lives. I didn't know where that one was coming from, but Lord help me. If we're speaking negativity, we're speaking the devil. Lord help me. So, next time you're worried about your struggles, your finances, everything that's going on, and you're thinking it's just terrible, well, God put you here. And you're going to be blessed through it. At the end of it, you're going to get a blessing. So why are we saying that this is the worst it could be? Why are we saying it's just going to keep getting worse? This is my life. I just got to deal with it. Why are we saying that? Because that's not what the Bible tells us. The Bible tells us we'll come out of it. In Luke chapter 2, verse 7, it's when Jesus was born. I'm just going to paraphrase here. Mary and Joseph had to have Jesus in. It don't really say that he was in a stable. It don't really say that he was in a barn, but they laid him in a manger. So that goes to tell you that he was in a barn. The king, our king, was born in a barn. And I thought about Mary. What in the world was she thinking during this time? Oh Lord, I'm not worthy to have your son in a barn. But no, Mary didn't say that. And it's amazing that Jesus was born in this bad situation, in a nasty barn. And as we are, if we would have had to do that, what would we be thinking? What would go through our heads? Would we speak negativity into that? We would. Church, we got to get the negativity out. The negativity's got to go, because if we speak it, then it comes to life. You see, when you are going through a bad situation, don't think that it's just the devil. Because maybe God has put you there to get you through something else. And so you start speaking negativity into that situation that God has put you in, then what are we doing? God put you there and you're speaking negative on it. When you say you don't know my circumstances or you don't know my situation or you don't understand what I'm going through, you're speaking life into that situation. You're speaking it. So when somebody asks you, are you doing okay? I mean, yeah, tell them what's going on, but tell them I'm getting a blessing out of this. Don't speak any negativity in it. Because you don't want to help the devil. Because that's all that we're doing when we're speaking negativity in something. We're helping the devil get his in. Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Whatever you speak into your life, it's yours then. So what are we speaking into our lives? What is Roger saying about his life? Is it blessed? Right. See? Now, I know some people, you ask them, how's your life? And they come up with this big long story and tell you all about how bad it is. Church, we got to quit talking about how bad our life is. We got to talk about how blessed it is. Because if we speak blessings into our life, then that's when we start getting blessed. If you're living without any blessings, then you're not speaking it into your life. We have to speak it into our life in order to get it. Because it says it right there. We speak it, it becomes life. So if I'm right, if we're not telling people about blessings and we're not saying we're blessed, then what are we getting? We're not getting no blessings. So next time somebody asks you how you doing, you will go, I'm blessed. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this blessing. We have to speak it to get it, is what I'm saying. 1 Peter 5:7 says, casting all your care upon Him, for He cares for you. He loves you, and He puts you in these situations because He loves you, because He knows what's coming later. We get into our circumstances and it drives us insane and we let it get to us, but we don't think about God's putting us here for a reason. God's got you. He's got you, JR. It don't matter what's going on around in the world. He's got you. Philippians 4, verse 6 through 7 says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known by God. So in these problematic lifestyles that we have, if we'll be thankful through those problems, just like I said, speaking blessings to it, then it's going to be okay. You're going to get through it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a God that really, really cares about you and wants you to grow, and He wants you to be thankful. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to be blessed. He wants everything for you, so why are we not getting everything that we deserve or that we need? Because we're not speaking it. We're not telling people how blessed we are. We're not telling people how thankful we are of what God's done for us. When you get thankful and you start telling people what God's done for you, and you start speaking blessings into your life, then people start seeing this. And when people start seeing this, they're going to want this. That's where we need to be at. We need to be in a place that that people are seeing what we're being blessed. Well, how do I get blessed? This old nasty world, like we was talking about, there ain't no blessings in it. So right now, we're going to speak blessings into this world. We're going to speak right now that we're going to speak life into this world, into this country, that it's going to get blessed now. We're putting it to life right now by speaking it. This country's going to get blessed again. Bible says, speak it. You see, we've gotten to a point that we're taking advice from the world. We're listening to what the world is telling us and not listening to what God is telling us. We're not listening to what we're reading in the Word. We're listening to everything that's going on social media. We're listening to everything that's going on around our lives, but we're not sitting still and listening to God. We have gotten so busy that we can't listen to God. Proverbs 15:15 says, all the days of the afflicted are evil, but he who is of a merry heart has a continual feast. So that's agreeing with what I just said. If you're speaking life, if you're speaking blessings into your life, then that's a merry heart, is it not? That's being happy, ain't it? We're going to have a feastful life. We're going to have lives full of blessings. Blessings that we don't even know about. Blessings that we might not even be able to handle. We might get so much, JR, that we can't handle it. And I'm speaking it to this church. I'm speaking it to the churches around us, to all the churches, that we're going to get blessed. This year is going to be great. There's going to be more people coming to Christ. I'm speaking it right now. So be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your request be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. That's powerful right there. So, when we get all down and out and worried about our situation or our circumstances, is that being happy? Is that being thankful? I know it's hard. It's hard to be thankful all the time when certain things come your way. We need help with that. So we're going to speak it. The next time something comes up in our life, we're just going to go by the Word and say, we're going to speak it right now that it's going to be better. So right now, that's it. It's come to life. We just spoke it. We're going to be blessed. How much you're going to be blessed? I love how it says speak it and it comes to life. Our words is so important because if we speak negativity on somebody else, Lord help us. That's speaking the devil on somebody. Let's get to a place to where we can speak positivity. We can lift each other up, because that's where it's all about. That's what it's all about. Is other Christians lifting everyone up, not just one person, not just the Christian folk. We got to be lifting up the sinful world too. We gotta be speaking life into these sinners. We gotta go out and touch these people, because if we don't, then who's going to do it? Who's going to bring people to Christ if we're just sitting behind the four walls? We have to speak it into people. And when I'm in the gym, I try my best to talk to a lot of people about what God's done for me. And somebody will ask me how I'm doing. I'm blessed. That's it. I'm blessed. I'm speaking blessings that way into my life. And then I'm telling them about what God has done for me. And God's done a lot for me. He's brought me a long ways. Thank you, Lord. He's brought me a long, long ways in just a few years. If you will allow God to work in your life, He will bring you a long ways in just no time. And if we will speak it, it's going to happen. So, we need to speak positivity into our lives, into everybody else's lives. That's all I got. It don't matter what circumstances you're in. God knows exactly where you're at, and He loves you. So don't ever think for 1 second that He's going to leave you there. Don't ever think that, because He's right there with you, and He's going to get you through it. God bless you, and God's going to bless each and every one of you. I know it, and I'm speaking it right now.